Hello. Hey everyone, my name is Juliana and I'm DevRel at NodeOps. Welcome back to CreateOS Lounge. I host Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST. I'm streaming here from New York City where the weather is very nice. So, um, yeah, let me know where you're watching this from. A little bit about Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays is that it's 1 hour to explore new technologies. It's 1 hour of any technology, not necessarily even NodeOps. In the past, we've done lots of stuff from OpenClaw to whatever's trending from GitHub. So the point is to have fun, try new things, vibe code crazy ideas, and see what happens. It's totally open-ended. There's a very, not very strict agenda. So if there's nothing set in stone, if there's anything you want to see, write it in the chat or DM me. Well, without further ado, usually I take you into my screen. If you are watching this from whether now or later, you can always DM me. My account is, let me take you into my screen. You can follow me on Twitter. So, ooh, that's trippy. Okay, so with Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays, this is my Twitter. You can follow me at jnodeops. And at the last session, we vibe coded a Superbase app. That's what we did. We used, to vibe code it, we used Cursor in conjunction with, what is it called again? Superpower. Yeah. So Superpower is an open source, kind of like a vibe code modifier. It amplifies how you're able to vibe code. And this is an extension on top of Cursor. This actually we had done before in a previous stream and used it. It didn't do a very good job if you were starting from a pre-existing application, but from a brand new, like totally brand new repo, I suppose, it did a great job. So we vibe coded a Superbase app. That app, this is what happened last time. It was Thursday. That app turned out to be kind of like a Snapchat, but for audio. You send each other audios and then you hear it once and it gets deleted. So it was like Snapchat for audio messages. And it took us like an hour and a half to get to like the final stage. And just when we were about to test it, that's when we got rate limited. So we got rate limited by Superbase, apparently. So I promised that today I was going to finish actually testing it out. Apparently, Superbase is like, here, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Superbase. So it comes with this awesome authentication thing, but you get rate limited to 2 logins per hour, which meant that I was trying to send something from one account to another account, and I didn't know that I was gonna be rate limited. But anyway, this is what we're gonna do. Let's pull up the project. I'll show you what it looks like. Hey, Kanzi, welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. Let me throw up. There you are. So as I was, if you just joined, I was just explaining like what happened in the last stream, how we got rate limited, what we built, that we used a superpower and Cursor to get this going. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Last week, we got my user ID with this email account. Today, I'm going to try to get the user ID of my other account. So user ID, and then grab that. Then from here, I will send messages back and forth. I don't want to mess this up, so I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Because if I get rate limited again, we're not doing this until next time. Hey, Winner of Glory. And then after we do this testing, I was going to show you guys one thing that's a new feature. So CreateOS came out with one-click deploy. So now you can deploy any GitHub URL, which is really quick. I think I can show you this in like less than 5 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's very simple. Today's very chill, you know, just have fun. Hey, Brian. It'll be super easy to get marketed once live. Yeah, totally. I would love to see how you would market it. I know you're a pro. Hey, Dancy. Dancy, you missed a lot. Not gonna lie. I'm kidding. You're fine. You just got in. All right. That's the plan today. We vibe coded a super base app last time. We're gonna go and test it out. We only have 2 chances to try this out, so we're not gonna mess it up this time. Otherwise, we have to wait a whole hour, and I'm not doing that. And then I'm gonna show you the one-click deploy, which is super easy. I'll do that with Excalibur, which is an open source GitHub repo. And then I'll also do that with, what is it? Either a Sudoku app or like a paraglider. Glider app. Game app. Yeah. Hey, Opie. Nice to meet you. Okay, so let's get started. Let me throw you into my cursor. So remember this page? This was, I don't know if you guys can see everything, but here's the project that we worked on last time. And I'm gonna do npm run dev to get it going. I haven't touched it since Thursday. So now it's running on port 3001. I'm gonna open it. So here is our app that we vibe coded last Thursday. And so I'm gonna sign in this time as, I really hope I don't mess this up. Hey, Sam Smithies. Okay. And remember, this was built with Superbase, totally vibe coded, and it comes with the ability to send a magic link, so no password needed. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna log in with Chance Cordelia, send a magic link. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my email. Is it not this one, but this one? There is my Superbase authentication email. I'm gonna click confirm my email, and I've logged in. There is my user ID. So I'm gonna copy that, bring it into here. So now I have both user IDs, which means now I can send it to myself. I can send it to my other account. Now I can send a voice message. So I'm sending it to, close this, to this account, right? To this account, which is my other account. And then I'm gonna start a message, and then I'm gonna sign into my other account. And that's the entire demo. If I mess this up, we are not coming back here today. Oh, Kanzi had a question. What'd you say? I know it's early, but how does the one-click deploy differ from manual deployment of that with AI? I'll show you. There's 2 ways to do it. We'll get there. Thank you for the question. All right, let's record. I wonder if you guys can hear my audio, or do I have to stream my audio? How do I do that? How do I stream my audio? Okay, I got it. Testing. You guys should be able to hear my audio now. All right, here goes. I'm gonna start recording, and I'm sending from Chance Cordelia to my other email. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. I'm recording a voice drop note. This should disappear. It's like Snapchat for voices. All right, and I'm ending this note. All right, that was 352 kilobytes. Now I'm gonna send it. could not create upload URL. Oh my. Oh, you guys can't even see the whole screen. I think that's better. So we got this message, we could not create the URL. That's not a good sign. Let me take a look at the network real quick. Not captured. All right, now it's time to go into Cursor and see what's up. Oh, what happened to my screen share? Okay, there we are. Ooh, it happened again. I don't know why it's doing that. Voice drops. We did this last time. We went to Superbase and we created a bucket called voice drops. Storage bucket. Oh God, here we go. Voice drops. Set it to private. Okay. Ah, I created the bucket in the wrong project. Okay, here we are. Let's see if maybe that works now. Okay, I'm going to restart with npm run dev. Okay. And I'm sending it to myself, to this user ID. And I'll start recording. Hello, hello. I'm recording a voice drop for myself. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. And stop. Okay, now I'm going to send it. Ooh, did you see that? We got a status of delivered. Now is the real moment of truth. I'm going to log out, log into my other account, and I should have my recording. Okay. nodeops.xyz. Send a magic link. This is the last time I'm going to be able to click this button. And there's the Superbase authentication link. I click login. And oh, look! Ah! I have a message. Wait. Before I play it, I want you guys to hear the audio coming from my screen. So let me reshare my screen. Stop and reshare. And sharing system audio. Share. Okay. So, all right, audio's up. You guys should be able to hear it. I'm going to click it now. What the hell is this? All right, let's copy and take it into cursor. I know. So sad. It's funny. It's honestly funny. I really hope this works because I can't log in anymore. No more magic links. Please work. Can't log in anymore. I guess worst case scenario, I could make another Superbase account. I think. Okay. Supposedly it's fixed. Can I just, without restarting it, can I just go back here and listen? Or do I have to rebuild? Refresh. Expired! Does that mean I can't go back? I think we're done. I think we're done with this demo. It's over. My life is over. I guess worst case scenario, I can still change the environment variables. And here, let me check it out. Let's go see what I need. Yes, but Superbase is tight. You ought to be able to do more than 2 accounts in 1 hour or so. Yeah, for real. It's too tight. All right, these are my environment variables. And the only thing I need is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to make all of these again. Okay. So what account is this again? Oh, okay, I logged in with this account. So I could technically do this again if I just change all of my variables. So let me log out, make a new account. Sign in. Do we want to do this or do you want me to go into one GitHub deploy? Reddit's security policy. I guess you're a huge Redditor. I'm not really active on Reddit, but I read it a lot. Okay. I'm just gonna speed run through this Superbase account and get to the environment variables that we need. I need a password. Nice. Reddit's the worst. The worst in terms of security or how much time it takes away from me? Because I'll tell you, I lost a lot of time reading Reddit. Let me call this bucket voice drop, right? Voice dash drop. Create. And go into project settings, API keys. Here we go. Let's start replacing some variables. Okay. We need a non-public. That's this one. Wait, I don't want to lose these variables though. Hold on. New file. Okay, backed up. Now a non-public goes over here. Boom. Role key goes over here. Boom. And we need the DB URL and the Superbase URL. So let's go. Where is it? Oh, Reddit's the worst in security? I had no idea. I've never been like a rebel on Reddit. I'm not like posting things, like getting moderators mad. I'm a lurker. The one thing I'm proud of is that I've been a Redditor since 2009. Yeah, long time. Long time. Back when it was like nobody really knew what Reddit was. It was really kind of the place for smart people, you know? I mean, and then it just became a place for memes. Where do I find the database URL? Under the connect session. Okay. It's under the connect session. Here it is. Connect. Copy and paste. And this was the password. Paste. You're the OG Redditor? Yeah, I wish I started accumulating karma points like way back in the day, but I didn't, you know? I just like lived through the internet but didn't contribute to it. Like I didn't make a YouTube when YouTube came out. I didn't make an Instagram when Instagram came out. I didn't make a Twitter when Twitter came out. You know, I lived through all of that. I was definitely old enough. What happened to my screen again? So weird. Okay. Okay, let me double check on this. That looks good. Superbase Postgres. I think that's right. What, you're active during all these launches? No, not active as part of the, project, but active as like a person who experienced the internet. who knew of their existence and was thinking like, "Oh, what's the big deal about Twitter? I don't get it." You know? I didn't get it. So I never made one. I didn't make one until like 2017 or something, when it had already been around for about 10 years. Okay, I think that should work. So let's restart the application. All right, we're on port 3001. What the hell? Okay. Let's log in again. What was my account again? I was sending it to myself, so let's log in with okay. Confirm my sign in. And I'm in. Now I'm gonna, oh my God. 0C. I don't think I'll be able to do this today, not with 2. This is very, very strict because my user ID has changed. This is a new account, new DB, which means I have to, I don't even know the account of the other one I want to send to, so I can't test it, unfortunately. Oh, what can we do? All right, I think we're gonna stop that and come back to this next time. What we will do now is we will do one-click deploy. So let me take you back into my screen, and this time I'm going to clean up everything, close off Superbase. Sorry, this ended on like a really weird note. This is very frustrating with this Superbase. If we can, it's okay, let's move on, yeah. Let's move on. Great. So that was, honestly, I think if with a couple more tries, we can definitely get it to work. So with CreateOS one-click deploy, there's 2 ways to go about it. First, let me show you this GitHub account. So with this account, no, wait, let me show you this one first. Excalibur. So do you know Excalibur? Excalidraw? It's really cool. Kind of looks like this. Right, this is something I was working on before. You can kind of like draw stuff on it and make charts. Oh, you can't see my screen again. So Excalidraw looks like this, where you can create like charts and stuff like that. And this is an open source tool. Super cool. You can do stuff like this and create charts. And this is something I created a while back when I was trying to explain Espresso and how it interacts with NodeOps and with a RARI variable. So yeah, really cool stuff. You can zoom out, you see, and zoom in. And this is open source. So here is the GitHub repo for it. And what's really cool is that you can totally deploy this and own a version of it. Very easy with CreateOS. All you do is come over to CreateOS nodeops.network, come over to deploy, and then click import from GitHub, and then click deploy from URL over here. Once you click deploy from URL, now you paste the GitHub of the open source code that you want to. So that one is going to be this one. Go over here. Yeah, like flowchart kind of stuff. Copy this URL, copy, and then come back here, paste, click import, and here's where you click build with AI. What it'll do is it will like, scan your dependencies, try and figure out the framework you're supposed to be deploying it, and then give it a project name. So let's call it uh, Excalidraw flowchart. And then you don't have to change anything here really. And then you click deploy. In about like 30 seconds to like a minute, this will deploy into a link, an instance of Excalidraw that you own yourself under your account. Do you guys have any questions? Later on, I'll show you a way to do this with one click direct from GitHub without even having to copy and paste URLs. Yeah, it is super easy. Yeah. This just takes a minute. Barely no questions. Thanks, Kanzi. It's not hanging. Just so you know, it's still going. You have to trust the process, even though the logs are not moving. This is the process where line 14 is build AI. The build AI does take some time to scan the code base and figure out the next moves. After this step, which is kind of the longest step, it will just fly by. You have to be patient. It is not hanging. Trust the process. Sorry, my face is totally hiding it. How do I? There. We are still just waiting. Oh, we're seeing some movement. I've been really excited about the weather in New York lately. Finally, winter's over and spring is here. So the weather's been really great. It's been very rainy, but the weather's warmed up a lot. There's no more snow. and I know that the flowers are coming. So yeah, the weather in New York is great. Yeah, finally. That probably only took a minute, but it felt like forever, didn't it? Don't know what's going on with my screen. It did it again. It is the build AI that's taking some time. The next method I show you will be quicker because it uses the manual method. You already give it the framework you want to build it under. I don't want to confuse you by doing it at the same time, but you could. You could do this at the same time. I could be deploying two things at once. Ray of sunshine. Yeah, I'm excited for the sun. But I did dark easy. So my skin right now is the lightest it will ever be. And then after one day in the sun, I become very, very dark. I'm kind of enjoying it because the rest of the year I'll be dark again. You thought everyone loved winter? I don't know where you've been, but winter in New York is nice for like one day. Then after that, the snow. Oh my God, the snow. The first day of snow is just fantastic. You know, it's soft, it's fluffy, it's beautiful. And then the next day, they melt a little bit and it turns into either slush or it freezes and turns into ice. So you fall and then you have to shovel. You have to shovel. Do you know how heavy snow is? It's like compacted ice and like water, solid water. And so it breaks your back. Which do you like better? Which what? Like tan or not? I actually, honestly, I kind of like being pale. I think it like makes my features pop a little more. But if I was like tan, I do feel like I look healthier. I look skinnier. I don't mind either way. For a while, I lived in Hawaii and I was just kind of like surfing and swimming a lot. I was kind of traveling the world and I was super, super, super tan. And during that time, I never wore makeup. So, never wore any makeup, didn't do anything with my hair. I was like a total, total beach girl. During that time, I was just didn't care about being pale at all. I'm definitely not in New York yet. Sorry about backbreaking thing. Yeah, imagine shoveling snow is like shoveling dirt, and that's something you have to do every time it snows. The worst though is that like you shovel the snow, but where does the snow go? You have to create these piles of snow either like in the middle of the street or on the sidewalk. And so like you kind of like have to figure out where like it takes away like spots you can't park anymore. You know, New York, like there's not enough parking spots anyway. So when it snows, Like, where do these cars go? So parking, forget about it. And then for walking, when you're walking, when you're crossing the street and there's like, sidewalks, forget about sidewalks. You have to climb. If you wanted to walk, you have to walk in a very specific way. Otherwise, you have to climb over a mountain of snow to get to the sidewalk. So it's just like all these logistical issues when you have like, imagine just piles of dirt everywhere now, you know? Yeah, Hawaii is a place of beauty, like hands down, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. And I've been a lot of places. So beautiful. Hawaii is just like pure nature. I can't describe it. It's not just like the land, it's also the people, the air. The air smells sweet. Um, Something about the colors of the place. Everything is very vibrant. It's definitely taking a long time, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're gonna deploy this thing. Sorry about the logistics issue in the winter. It's okay. It's all part of the experience. Kind of the kind of the experience of living in New York is that you have to accept that that's what life is going to be like. So lots of times when people have money, they just kind of like leave New York. And that's true for like many places. If there's like I don't know, if you don't like your winter, you just leave. And that's what I was able to do for like most of my life for like the last 10 years. I just flew to somewhere warm because I like warm weather. But now I'm back home because I wanted to spend more time with family. And this winter was my first winter in like 10 years. I can't say I don't like it. I still appreciate it because it taught me how to stay home and live through the winter. I watched a lot of movies, but it definitely helps me appreciate the spring that's coming in. You're living the life, I must say. You're super intelligent too. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. I did live a good life. I swear to you, I did. And I did it intentionally too. I told myself when I was young that I will live as if I'm going to die tomorrow. So everything I do is because I was thinking, oh, I don't want to FOMO. I don't want to regret it. So I lived a life full of adventure. And now I'm like a grandma. I don't do anything. I just watch a lot of movies and stay home and stream apparently and try new technology. I wouldn't say I'm super intelligent, but thank you, Brian. Yeah, you've watched movies and have seen Hawaii. If you watch, oh my gosh, my favorite is Lilo and Stitch. Watch the new one. So much fun. The energy over there and how warm people are is exactly how the movie captures. People are so laid back. There's something called island time, so everybody's always late. No one's ever angry. They're super laid back. For example, like in Hawaii, no one ever honks their horn. They never beep the car. If you beep your car, it means you're ready to scrap. You're ready to like throw down and throw a punch and kill someone, you know? Never. And also they do this thing, if you're like in a car and you do something nice for someone, they throw out like the shaka, which is this thing, like this thing with your hand. It's called the shaka. You throw it out like as a thank you. Or when you say hi to someone passing by, you just go, hello. That's like you throw it out. They're so nice. People are very, very welcoming. They will give you the shirt off of their back for you, even though the people in Hawaii is like, you have two types of people in Hawaii, the super rich and the super poor, because it's a very difficult place to live. Everything is very expensive. It has to be shipped in. And also, it's like the super rich, obviously, who are able to afford living in Hawaii. But the people who are not very well off, They are so welcoming. They will give you everything. They will feed you. They will give you the food on their land, all the fruit. And food is a love language over there, you know? There's so much eating, and there's a culture with there's like two biggest parties of your life. The two biggest parties of your life is when you turn 1 years old and when you graduate high school. Those are your two biggest parties. So when I was living in Hawaii, I was constantly going to these parties. Oh, this kid turned 1 years old, huge party. They rent out the entire space, and it's like there's just this kid just turned 1 years old. That's it. And then the next biggest party is your high school graduation, also huge party. So yeah. Yeah, for real, no honking. I'm serious, no honking. If you honk, it means they're ready to fight you. You're ready to fight someone. It's very serious. They're so nice. I'm not gonna say it's quiet though. Like, there's a lot of people who like to drive their really, really loud cars down the street, but this is like a small part of Hawaii. Hawaii is actually made out of like, I think, eight islands. It's an archipelago. But the island that everyone thinks of is Honolulu. So if you watch movies, they're most likely Honolulu and Oahu. It's an island called Oahu, or the island called Kauai, or the Big Island. Those are the three biggest islands. The rest of it are very, very small. Very few people live there, or nobody lives there at all. And that could be because it's kind of sad, Hawaii's history with the military. You know, they've kind of destroyed a lot of the natural resources. Some of the islands are uninhabitable. They've also destroyed some of the natural water sources in Hawaii because of they were testing bombs and destroyed it. So there's a lot of like, you know, uh, not hatred, there's hate between the locals and the military. Basically, like there are like American military bases based in Hawaii, and if you are like a soldier that's living in Hawaii, you don't really want to let people know that you are in the military. You hide yourself because the locals, they do hate you. Anyway, there's some crazy stuff, you know, after living there that I've learned. I learned a lot of culture. I learned how to cook their food. I learned the local language. I learned to respect um, what it was like. I don't know what's going on with this build. This should be done by now. Let me do a quick refresh. Here I am yapping about Hawaii. And I just realized that this should be done by now. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. This is gonna happen right here. Excalibur and deploy. I must visit Hawaii this year with my family. I need to get out of work noise really soon. I totally recommend Hawaii. Let me know. DM me. I will give you all the recommendations of how to get there and where to go. I also lived there really cheap. When I went there, I lived in a hostel at first. And hostels are kind of expensive, but you can definitely make do. And I'll give you, and like you can make so many friends really quickly. No, the local language is not French. The local language is English. There's a lot of Americans there. It is a state in America, so it's definitely English. They use US dollars, but a lot of people think it's not a part of it's like another country because they do have their own language. Um, it's a colony. It's an American colony. You know, it's colonized. So, but the language is actually dying. Hawaiian is not like widely spoken. Um, Instead, they have this weird language. It's kind of like broken English called Pidgin. Pidgin was created because back in like the 1900s, at the turn of the century, a lot of there was a lot of immigrants going to Hawaii looking for work. So the Chinese, the Portuguese, I think the Portuguese, Chinese, Japanese, and Filipinos, they all went there for farm work. There was a lot of like sugarcane and also what is it called? Sugarcane and pineapple plantations, basically large farm work. They needed labor. And so these immigrants would work on the fields and they were not able to communicate with each other because they don't speak the same language. But slowly through time, they shared food with each other and they started to learn each other's languages and they created something called Pidgin. Pidgin is a language that Hawaiians use that is a mix between English and a little bit of Chinese, a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of everything, a little bit of Hawaiian words, and then that's how they're able to communicate. So I like to tell a story. Hey, Drewski, good to see you. And they started to share words like, for example, I like to say the word like ono. Ono is a Hawaiian word that means delicious. Like, oh, that's ono, you know? That's like, oh, very, very ono, very ono. It's very delicious. That's a Hawaiian word that they would use. But that's not pidgin. You throw that into the language. The pidgin is a string of words together. So like how to pee, to go to pee is shishi. Shishi is not Hawaiian. Shishi is actually a Chinese word, you know? Shishi. And there's so many all these like little words that you learn. And that's what pidgin is. And it's like it's an accent. Anyway, I can go on and on and on about Hawaii. Oh my gosh, I lived there for so long and it really changed my life. And it taught me to appreciate nature. I did a lot of gardening, so now I'm a pretty decent gardener. I understand land. I learned how to cook. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna stop yapping right now and go quickly in the last 10 minutes. While this is deploying, let me show you the other way to deploy. But yeah, I could definitely keep talking about this. Don't even joke about it. All right, so this GitHub is called Himachal Crash Landing, and I'm just going to demonstrate. If you vibe pool the project, and then you add this button over here, deploy on CreateOS, you just click it, bam, it takes you straight to here. And this is the manual side of the build. It already pre-configures the project name, it pre-configures the framework. The only thing you have to do is click deploy. And that's it. Now we are deploying. We're going to deploy this and see what happens. So the next question is, how do you get that button? So now we have this deploying and we also have this deploying. We got two things going on. I'm going to show you how to get that button real quick. github.com/ Now this is important because if you wanted to like make a project and deploy it really quickly and you wanted this button, let's say you're like, oh, check out this thing I vibe coded. You can own it yourself. Just click this and you deploy your own version. How do you get it? Very easy. Let's go to edit the file. Oh, not edit the file. Let's go to, it's the README. So you just take a look at this file, click into it, click raw over here. And then you see this line over here. Oh, it's so small. There you go. This is the README. This is the line you add. It's a markdown. The button is deployed on CreateOS. You give it an image, which is the badge. And then this is the link you need from here to, oops, from here to here is the link you need. Basically, it is just the CreateOS link with the repo. You replace it with your own repo. You replace it with your own framework, whatever framework you're using, and give it the project name, whatever name you want. That's it. That's the button. Oh my God. Let me screen share again. Here we go. That's it. That's the button. You just need this text right here in your README, and it will take your users directly to deploying a version of your app. One-click deployment. So easy. For the options for frameworks, let me pull up the options. Okay. I'm going to copy this and then paste it into Drive. So here are the frameworks and options. For JavaScript and TypeScript, you can do vanilla.js, which is what we're looking at here, right? Vanilla.js. You can also do React, Next.js, Vue, Angular, Vite, as well as Laravel and Nginx. These are the frameworks that are supported right now. And that's it. You have this button. Any other questions? Happy to answer it. Let's check out our deployments real quick. They're still going. Oh, yay! No! The deployment totally didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna try Excalibur one more time because it has worked before. I can show you that here's my deployment right here. Excalibur flowchart. I'm opening it up and this is my own deployment. This has worked. It does take me a few tries though. So yeah. Let me create some arrows. These are great. I like this. I think that's good enough. We'll wait for the last project to deploy, which is through the one-click button. And that's this paraglider game. Yeah, guys, if you get a chance to visit Hawaii, I know it's like hard to get to. It really is very difficult to get to. It's so far from everything, and it's very expensive just to live there, just to get there. It's kind of nice. It's very nice. The other place I would consider, I heard that like there's an island in Spain that is similar to Hawaii. I'm trying to figure it out. Maps. What is it called again? Tenerife? Wait a second. There's an island that I heard looks like Hawaii, but I've never been, so I can't confirm it. Everybody says like, "Oh, this place looks like Hawaii," but once I get there, I don't see it. Where is this island? Okay. Okay. So these are the two islands that I was looking at. Azores. Someone said the Azores Islands in Portugal looks like Hawaii. And I can kind of see it, you know? I see the foliage, I see the mountains. Not quite there though. Still beautiful. So Azores is one of them. The other one is Tenerife. This one. This looks a little bit more like it. But still, this not quite Hawaii. It's hard to imagine like there's just the amount of volcanic rock, the black rocks that make up Hawaii. That mountain ridge looks like it. Yeah, this is a lot closer to where you are. If you're going to like, you know, Europe, this may be more achievable to go here than it is to go to Hawaii. Hawaii is just very, very far out there. Let's go to Hawaii real quick. So you see, like, this is my Google Maps. Let me check real quick. Oh, it's loaded. It's finished. Okay, let me finish up Hawaii real quick. Here are some of the pictures. Hold on. These, you can see how the rocks are black. Also, like, there are rainbows everywhere. I just gotta tell you, like, this is I don't know why. I think the way Hawaii, like, hits the earth or whatever, there's rainbows all the time. And there's all different kinds of rainbows. There's so many different kinds that they have a language for. They have a word for all the different kinds. This doesn't even look like Hawaii. Like, there's a word for this kind of rainbow that's incomplete. You know, it goes from here to here, it's kind of fades away. There's another one for like very solid rainbows. If you've ever seen a rainbow that's solid, it feels like literally like a hologram, you know, in the sky. I only saw that one time in my life. It was crazy, end to end, straight solid colors. It wasn't like faded like this. So yeah, it's just the colors actually do look like this. It's so incredibly like saturated, you know. Anyway, these are all part of the city. You have to go into nature to really see how beautiful it is. Like even this part, you don't quite see the black rocks. And here's Diamond Head. This area here, what is this called? Yeah. Anyway, the ancient Hawaiians used to like fish. You know, they lived off of the land, so they left things like these. It's hard to here. Let me see if I can type in Hawaii fish pond. Many fish pond or images. Okay, kind of like this. So if you see it from the aerial view, you can see like structures like this from the sky. And this was created by ancient Hawaiians. This was not recent. This was because they were trying to trap the fish. The fish would swim in when they're small, and then they would feed them from here. Like, you know, you feed the fish so that they come in. When they get too big, they cannot leave. So now you can just keep the fish, and then every time you're hungry, you just scoop a fish up. So this was how they stored and kept their fish. They're all over the island. You can find them and you can swim through them. That's the best part because the fish are trapped in there. Oh, so much fun to swim through them. They're just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to close up this topic, go straight to the deployment. Here's the paraglider. It was deployed successfully, and here's the link. Okay. Ta-da! It's alive! It's a game. You can click begin flight and then start playing. I'm terrible at this game. Ah! Every time. You say nice trap? Yeah, it's a nice trap. Oh, I'm just so terrible at this game. Anyway, that is the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Kanzi, for hanging out all the time with me, for Drewski and Brian for being there, and everyone else who's still on the stream. Thanks for listening to me yap about Hawaii. I'm happy to tell you everything and more about it if you want. But next time I'm gonna keep going with the same stuff. If there's anything you want me to see, let me know. Write it in the chat or DM me through Twitter. But yeah, there is no agenda for the next stream. I'll probably see if I can try the voice one again because I still do want to see if it works. We could also vibe code a new project, or we can, you know, try another trending GitHub repo, whatever it may be. But thank you so much for joining us. So I'll see you next time. Take care wherever you are. Thank you, Brian. Have a good rest of your day.